Imagine standing at the edge of a new day, filled with endless possibilities, yet feeling held back by an invisible force within yourself. That force is often the lack of self-discipline, the ability to choose long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's the difference between dreaming about success and actually achieving it. Everyone knows the feeling of wanting to change but getting caught in a cycle of procrastination, distractions, or giving in to momentary temptations. It's frustrating because deep down you recognize your potential, yet your actions don't match your ambitions. What if you could train your mind to respond differently? What if you could develop a mindset so strong that when faced with challenges, doubts, or urges to quit, you still move forward? This isn't about willpower alone. It's about building habits that shape your character and strengthen your resolve. Self-discipline is not about punishment or deprivation, but about freedom. The freedom to control your actions instead of being controlled by impulses. It's the invisible muscle that, when exercised daily, transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. Think about the moments when you give in to distractions, scrolling endlessly on your phone, delaying important tasks, or choosing comfort over effort. Now imagine the power to break those patterns, to consciously decide what serves your higher goals. Cultivating self-discipline means learning to say no to distractions and yes to progress, consistently. It means understanding that every small decision matters and that greatness is built through countless tiny victories. This journey isn't easy. It demands patience, persistence, and self-awareness. But the reward is profound. A life where your dreams align with your actions and your potential unfolds through deliberate, disciplined choices. The question is, are you ready to start? Self-discipline is one of the most valuable qualities a person can develop, yet it remains elusive for many. It is often mistaken for mere willpower or strictness. But in reality, self-discipline is much deeper. It is the skill of managing your impulses, emotions, and behaviors in a way that consistently aligns with your long-term goals and values. When self-discipline is cultivated effectively, it becomes the foundation for personal growth, success, and freedom. Without it, even the most talented or ambitious individuals can struggle to reach their potential. In today's world, where distractions are everywhere and instant gratification is the norm, maintaining focus and control over one's actions has become increasingly challenging. Whether it is the lure of social media, comfort foods, procrastination, or negative habits, these distractions compete with our best intentions. Many people find themselves stuck in cycles of starting new projects or goals enthusiastically, only to lose momentum and give in to distractions or excuses. This struggle is not a sign of failure, but a reflection of how demanding the modern environment is on our mental and emotional resources. The good news is that self-discipline is not something fixed or innate. It is a skill that can be developed and strengthened like a muscle. The process requires understanding yourself, your triggers, weaknesses, and motivations, and then designing your daily habits and environment to support your goals. It means setting clear priorities, breaking down overwhelming ambitions into smaller, actionable steps, and learning to delay immediate gratification in favor of greater rewards in the future. Developing self-discipline also involves cultivating mental resilience and patience. There will be moments of temptation, setbacks, and fatigue, but these experiences serve as opportunities to build greater strength. Consistency is key. Each time you choose discipline over distraction, you reinforce your ability to stay on course. Over time, these small decisions accumulate, shaping your character and transforming your life. Ultimately, self-discipline is about empowerment. It allows you to take control of your own destiny rather than being led by fleeting desires or external circumstances. It creates space for intentional living, where your actions reflect your deepest values and ambitions. By committing to cultivate self-discipline, you unlock the door to sustained success, fulfillment, and personal mastery. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are well worth the effort. In a world filled with constant stimuli and endless options, cultivating self-discipline has become one of the greatest challenges people face. The modern environment is designed to capture attention and encourage immediate satisfaction. Notifications buzz every few minutes, tempting entertainment is just a click away, and social pressures often promote distraction rather than focus. As a result, many individuals struggle to maintain the level of control over their behaviors and choices necessary for long-term growth. The challenge begins with the nature of human desire itself. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, a survival mechanism that historically served us well. However, in the context of modern life, this wiring often leads to favoring short-term rewards over meaningful long-term achievements. This instinct makes it difficult to resist temptations that offer instant gratification, whether it's scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, or procrastinating on important tasks. This internal conflict between desire and discipline often creates a cycle of frustration and guilt. People set goals with enthusiasm but soon find themselves slipping back into old habits. The lack of progress leads to diminished motivation, which in turn weakens the resolve. Many feel stuck, as if they are trapped in a battle they cannot win, eroding their confidence and self-esteem. Another major obstacle is the misconception about self-discipline itself. Many believe it requires extreme willpower or strict deprivation, which can make the process feel overwhelming and unattainable. When discipline is framed as harsh self-denial, it creates resistance rather than inspiration. This misunderstanding can cause individuals to give up before they truly begin, or to abandon their efforts at the first sign of difficulty. External factors also compound the problem. Busy schedules, high stress, and lack of support make it harder to maintain consistency. When life feels chaotic, the discipline to stick to routines or healthy habits becomes even more elusive. Without a clear structure or supportive environment, it's easy to fall back into behaviors that undermine progress. Perhaps one of the most significant challenges is the tendency to expect immediate results. In a culture of fast solutions, people often want to see quick changes. When those changes don't come rapidly, discouragement sets in, making it tempting to abandon the effort altogether. The truth is that cultivating self-discipline is a gradual process that requires patience and persistence, and the opposite. Despite these challenges, developing self-discipline remains essential. Without it, goals remain distant dreams, and potential is left unrealized. Overcoming these obstacles requires understanding the nature of the struggle, changing one's approach, and committing to steady growth. It's a difficult path, but those who persevere discover that the rewards far outweigh the difficulties. Cultivating self-discipline begins with a conscious decision to take control of your actions and mindset. It involves recognizing that your habits and behaviors are choices you can influence rather than fixed traits you must accept. One of the first steps in developing this skill is to gain clarity about your goals. Clear, well-defined objectives provide the motivation and direction necessary to stay disciplined. When goals are vague or unrealistic, it becomes easy to lose focus and give in to distractions. Breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks creates a roadmap that feels achievable and builds momentum with each step completed. Understanding your personal triggers and weaknesses is equally important. Everyone has specific situations, emotions, or environments that make it harder to stay disciplined. By identifying these triggers, you can proactively create strategies to avoid or cope with them. For example, if you know that checking your phone first thing in the morning derails your productivity, you can establish a morning routine that minimizes phone use. Altering your environment to reduce temptations is a powerful tactic. Removing distractions, organizing your workspace, and setting boundaries with others can all help maintain focus. Another key aspect is cultivating consistency. Self-discipline is less about grand gestures and more about repeated small choices that align with your goals. The brain responds to repetition by forming habits, and once a habit is established, it requires less effort to maintain. This means that daily commitment, even in small ways, builds lasting discipline. Tracking progress can reinforce this consistency by providing tangible evidence of growth and encouraging. Developing mental resilience is crucial for sustaining discipline through challenges. Discipline requires pushing through discomfort, boredom, or setbacks without giving up. Building resilience can involve mindfulness practices such as meditation or journaling, which enhance self-awareness and emotional regulation. Learning to reframe failures as learning opportunities rather than defeats strengthens resolve. Additionally, surrounding yourself with supportive people or accountability partners can boost motivation and provide encouragement during difficult times. It's also important to recognize that motivation alone is unreliable. Motivation fluctuates and can't be depended upon to drive discipline consistently. That's why establishing systems and habits that operate independently of motivation is vital. Discipline becomes a default response when your environment, routines, and mindset support your intentions. Ultimately, cultivating self-discipline is an ongoing process. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to grow through discomfort. By setting clear goals, managing triggers, committing to consistency, and building resilience, you create a foundation that transforms discipline from a daunting challenge into a natural part of your daily life. This transformation empowers you to achieve more than you thought possible and live a life aligned with your deepest values. The pivotal moment in cultivating self-discipline arrives when the struggle between instant gratification and long-term goals becomes clear and personal. It is the moment you recognize that discipline is not about perfection or never failing. Rather, it is about consistently choosing to act in alignment with your purpose despite difficulties or temptations. This shift in understanding marks a powerful transformation in mindset, from viewing discipline as a burden to seeing it as a tool of empowerment and freedom. This key realization often occurs during moments of challenge or temptation, when you face the choice to either give in to comfort or push forward with effort. Perhaps it is staying focused on a project when distractions beckon, resisting unhealthy habits in favor of better alternatives, or maintaining a routine despite exhaustion. In these moments, discipline is tested and refined. The decision to stay committed, even when motivation fades or obstacles appear, defines the difference between temporary effort and lasting change. What makes this moment so crucial is that it shifts the source of motivation inward. Instead of relying on external rewards or fleeting enthusiasm, discipline becomes a personal commitment rooted in values and vision. This internal shift empowers you to persevere through setbacks without self-judgment. You begin to understand that failure is not a stopping point, but an opportunity to learn and strengthen resolve. Each time you return to your path after a slip, your discipline grows stronger. This turning point also reveals the power of small, consistent actions over time. Rather than expecting overnight success or dramatic breakthroughs, you embrace the process of steady progress. This mindset reduces overwhelm and builds confidence because every disciplined choice, no matter how small, contributes to a larger transformation. You come to appreciate that mastery over yourself is not an event, but a journey made up of countless decisions. At this stage, the invisible muscle of self-discipline starts to feel natural and even rewarding. The satisfaction derived from following through on commitments outweighs the temporary pleasure of distractions. This new perspective allows you to break free from cycles of procrastination and self-doubt, opening doors to greater productivity, fulfillment, and growth. Ultimately, this key moment is a breakthrough in personal empowerment. It redefines what is possible by demonstrating that control over your actions is within your reach. The challenge shifts from wondering if you can be disciplined to embracing who you are becoming through discipline. This transformation lays the foundation for a life where your actions consistently support your deepest goals and aspirations. Self-discipline is more than just a tool for achieving goals. It is the foundation upon which a meaningful and purposeful life is built. Throughout the journey of cultivating self-discipline, it becomes clear that this skill is not a fixed trait reserved for a select few, but an ability accessible to anyone willing to commit to growth. The process demands patience, self-awareness, and consistent effort, but the rewards extend far beyond mere productivity or success. At its core, self-discipline allows individuals to align their daily actions with their deepest values and long-term ambitions. It empowers a person to resist distractions, overcome procrastination, and make choices that lead to lasting fulfillment. While motivation may fluctuate and obstacles will arise, discipline serves as the steady force that keeps one moving forward, even in the face of challenges. One of the key lessons in this journey is the importance of small, deliberate actions. Grand gestures or sudden bursts of willpower are often short-lived, but the steady accumulation of positive habits builds a foundation that supports sustained growth. Consistency transforms effort into habit, and habit becomes the framework within which discipline naturally flourishes. This shift makes the practice of self-discipline less about struggle and more about intentional living. Another vital insight is that setbacks and failures are not signs of defeat, but essential components of progress. Each misstep provides valuable feedback and strengthens resilience. The ability to return to the path with renewed commitment reinforces the mental and emotional toughness required for true discipline. This mindset cultivates compassion for oneself and reduces the fear of imperfection. Creating an environment conducive to discipline also plays a significant role. By minimizing distractions, establishing routines, and seeking support when needed, individuals create external structures that reinforce their internal commitments. These strategies make it easier to sustain focus and maintain momentum. Ultimately, cultivating self-discipline leads to personal empowerment. It transforms the relationship with oneself from one of conflict and inconsistency to one of control and alignment. This empowerment opens the door to achieving meaningful goals, improving well-being, and living authentically. While the journey may be demanding, the transformation that comes with cultivating self-discipline is profound. It changes not only what is possible, but also who you become. By embracing the process and committing to steady progress, anyone can unlock the power of discipline and create a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. Now is the moment to take the first step toward building the self-discipline that will shape your future. It begins with a simple decision, a commitment to yourself to prioritize your goals and take deliberate action, no matter how small. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Progress comes from consistent, manageable steps taken every day. Identify one area where you struggle with discipline. Perhaps it's managing your time better, resisting distractions, or sticking to a healthy routine, and focus your energy there. Start by setting a clear, achievable goal related to that area. Break it down into daily tasks that feel doable and commit to completing them even when motivation is low. Remember, discipline thrives on consistency, not perfection. There will be days when you falter, but what matters most is returning to your path without judgment or delay. Each small victory builds momentum and strengthens your ability to stay focused over time. Create an environment that supports your commitment. Remove or reduce distractions that tempt you away from your priorities. Establish routines that guide your day and help you stay on track. Surround yourself with people who encourage and hold you accountable. If needed, find a partner or group where you can share progress and challenges, gaining motivation through mutual support. Cultivate self-awareness to recognize the moments when you are most vulnerable to giving up or procrastinating. In those moments, pause and remind yourself why you began this journey. Visualize the person you want to become and the life you want to live. Use that vision to fuel your resolve. Practice patience and compassion with yourself. Discipline is a skill that develops gradually, not instantly. Track your progress regularly. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and learn from setbacks without losing momentum. Over time, you will notice how your daily choices accumulate into meaningful growth. The power to transform your habits and achieve your goals lies in your hands. Commit to this journey today. Choose discipline over distraction, consistency over convenience, and long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. By doing so, you are investing in your potential and opening the door to a life shaped by intention, purpose, and achievement. The best time to start is now. Take that step forward. Your future self will thank you.